Hey, I'm Rose, and if you've ever wondered why you keep attracting the same kind of love no matter how much healing you've done, this one's for you. This is part of my series called A Soft Rebellion, where we unpack the hidden patterns, personas, and shadows that shape who we choose and how we love. You don't need to watch the whole series to feel this one, but if it hits home, you'll definitely want to keep going. You know how you show off your clean homes, your beautiful meals, and your children playing happily together? You clean the house cheerfully on TikTok, your makeup is on point, you show books stacked to be read and freshly made beds. Where do we put all the mess that we don't want people to see? Is your favorite place in the closet or under the beds? Wherever it is, it's out of sight, hidden. We don't take pictures for social media to show the real message. And we also don't show things like the binge eating, the failures, and the fights. Your inner mind is a lot like this. You have a parlor or sitting room that you invite people to see. The psychological term for this room is a persona. It's a room that you've tailor-made for yourself from your own experiences, lessons, and trauma. We call this ELT. There's also stuff that you don't want to show anyone, so you hide it away in the closet. The psychological term for the closet is the shadow. It's full of the experiences, lessons, and trauma, the ELT, that you've been through, that you've determined subconsciously that no one should know about because it's all too messy. There's only one more term you need to understand. Your ego controls the door between your clean, perfect parlor and your shameful, dark closet. Your ego tells you to keep that door shut no matter what. It chooses what needs to be hidden and what needs to be put on full display. That sounds like a perfect system, right? Not so fast. There are a couple problems with this setup that women see showing up inside relationships as well as through all facets of life that we need to be aware of. Number one, something falls out of the closet, or someone, God forbid, opens the door and sees the mess. Oh my God, I just blew up this guy's phone because I thought he was out with another girl, but my friend who lives in his apartment complex just checked and he was at home napping. How did this happen? In reality, that's what's called getting triggered. And the ego frantically shoves everything back in the closet and slams the door because that is something the ego does not want to deal with. Another type of problem is called projecting. And this happens when you're around someone who doesn't seem to care what others think, and they're not trying to be perfect. Maybe they're dancing crazy and they didn't put much effort into their makeup and how they look. They just seem free and it bothers you. Why? Well, because your shadow wants that same freedom. But your ego has worked so hard to keep it hidden. You wonder how that person can be so unbothered about their stuff when you work so hard to look perfect. It's not fair. Don't they know how crazy or lazy or whatever they are being? Don't they have an ego like everyone else that shoves those things out of sight? They should be ashamed of themselves. These are simple analogies to explain the complex interactions of your inner mind, navigating between the persona and the shadow. It also shows how these interactions can cause problems later in life for you, with triggering and projection. Now, as we go through this series, you might start recognizing some patterns you didn't even realize you were stuck in. Or maybe you'll feel a little called out. That's normal. If anything hits too close to home and you want to talk it out with someone who gets it, I've got a private voice note option where you can vent and I'll coach you through it right from your phone. I'll drop that link in the description if you need it. So remember, your ego sorts experiences like day-to-day stuff, big and small, your early societal lessons like gender roles, for instance, and traumatic events that you've had. It starts at a young age. It says, I got made fun of for crying at school, so I'm never going to do that again. So it places crying into the shadow. I'll do this instead, and it places acting unbothered when hurt in the persona. It says, my mom gets really mad when I ask questions, so I better stop doing that. And it puts asking questions in the shadow. She likes it when I'm just do as I'm told, so I'll just be quiet and do what I'm told without question all the time instead. And it puts instant obeying in the persona. So let's speed things up a little bit to the present day. The same way you chose what to hide on social media and what to hide growing up, you'll also choose what to hide in a relationship. The stuff you've hidden can't stay in the closet forever. Things start to leak out into your love life in a way you don't even realize. Your shadow, made up of that ELT, has shaped the kind of guy you're attracted to, has developed your responses when you're in a relationship, and holds the reason why your relationships follow the same predictable courses again and again. For instance, you're often attracted to the wrong men simply because you deeply want to love the parts of your shadow that your ego said you couldn't have. So you see it in a guy and you think, oh my God, it's my missing piece. He's always questioning authority, and that's so badass. You aren't simply enchanted by the person because you're not looking at the full picture. You're enchanted by the hidden part of yourself that they reflect. You don't realize that you do have it hidden within yourself. A relationship based on this kind of shadow attraction won't work for long, because since you'll either become dependent on him for the activity, let's go get pulled over again, honey, which will annoy him after a while, or you'll be resentful that he possesses what you feel you lack. Like, why does he have to get in trouble all the time? This is so annoying. It was never really about him. It was about reclaiming what you've been told you couldn't have. Now, you also pick and choose the specific things you want to display in a relationship. So your relationship persona is based on what you've been taught about love, men, and what makes you worth being with. Personas aren't always aligned with your current needs, though. They're often the remnants of earlier survival strategies. You might have needed love and attention from your parents, so you learn to do what you were told and not question their authority. The problem is what helped you survive by getting you what you needed, love and attention, may now be getting you hurt. For instance, if you display front and center in your parlor these days that you obey without question, you're going to attract the wrong type of men into your circle to take advantage of that. So this is how the relationship persona you've developed can often keep you trapped in cycles of heartbreak, disappointment, and frustration. Now it's our job, me and you, to open the door to the closet, despite what your ego might say, and allow them just to explore each other, because we need to bring awareness to the hidden stuff in there so that it stops unconsciously ruining your relationships. So over the next few episodes, we'll explore some common personas that women develop in relationships, like the people pleaser, the cool girl, the good girl. And then we'll put it all together and work on leaving that door open permanently so that your relationships can be based on who you actually were before the ego started sorting. And by understanding and healing the patterns that have been controlling your choices, you'll create space for deeper connections, healthier boundaries, and the kind of love that's truly aligned with who you are. Now, if this resonated, there's more where it came from. I've got other videos in this series that dive deeper into the roles we play, and the love we settle for, and the self-worth we have to reclaim to finally feel safe and sane in love. You can find those in the playlist down below. And if you want to talk through your own situation, maybe something you're too close to see clearly, I do offer private voice note coaching where you vent and I coach, and you actually get some peace about it. The info's down in the description.